Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is January 27th, 2023, and this is episode 46. My name is Roz, and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada, with my husband and my two kids who are 12 and 11. Today it is cold and dreary outside. The temperature is supposed to drop over the weekend. However, for some reason, probably, being somebody in their 40s, I am cooking hot today. Maybe it's the amount of tea I've had this morning. So I am in short sleeves and a shawl. It's how I roll now. Today for you, I have what am I wearing? Finished objects, works in progress, stash, events, and a tiny bit of chatter. So let's get started, shall we? What am I wearing? Today I am wearing my playground shawl. This is a pattern by Justina Lorkowski. It'll be linked down here. It'll be there. And I knit this in like 2016, 2017. And it is a triangle, an asymmetrical triangle shawl. You don't see it that much, but so it's got like these kind of wedges on the one side and then it's just straight on the other side. And the yarn is actually Gauge Dye Works. At the time that I bought this, they were Caterpillar Green, which was what they were called before they were Gauge Dye Works. And this is the MCN fingering shawl. So it is like 115 grams, I think. So it's a bit bigger. But it is one continuous skein that she's dyed up. So you can see like this end of the shawl, there's just a little bit of purple and then it goes into orange and all the other colors. And then, there's more yarn as you get into the bigger side of it. This color is the Concrete and Tulips. Right here, can you see it in there? Is the opposite of this. So it starts with this blue in the little section and ends with the purple and pink and orange in the bigger section. So I love this yarn so much. I love this shawl so much. I also have her shawl in the Apex shawl, which is a more traditional triangular one with the lace detail. I'm pretty sure I've worn it on here before. If not, maybe I'll wear it next week. So I love this yarn so much. I'm having a difficult time picking the perfect pattern. And really, I just need to make it because I will wear it. I like this shawl because it is big enough. But I do find that the tails are not quite long enough, so I do wear it with my shawl cuff. This is from Knox Mountain Knit Co. So they make these beautiful shawl cuffs, and that just kind of holds it all together so then it doesn't slip around and try to fall off. So it makes it more of a cowl-like thing where it's kind of connected, but still I'm able to kind of set it up each time. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying now. Just playing with my hair. Oh, goodness. So that's the pattern, and that is the shawl. Okay, and I'm going to carefully lift up my shawl so you guys can see my shirt. My husband and I watch Critical Role on YouTube. They are a Dungeons and Dragons podcast, and I have my Bell's Hells shirt on. Now, I was wearing it last night because we were watching, and we have matching shirts and we wear them while we watch the lives, which they had one last night. I only got through half of it before I was exhausted and had to go to bed, but watched half of it. And but I love wearing it. And I think this color goes perfectly with these colors. Anyway, just wanted to say that. I love. And actually this t-shirt has a really nice fit. It's nice and long because I have a taller torso. So, and everything fits nice and it's a really nice soft material. So, more swag in my future, I think, for sure. What is up next? Finished objects. Let's move on to finished objects. For finished objects this week, I actually have 2 finished objects. The first one is not here. I've already gifted it. So I knit a hat for my father-in-law. I've knit him a few before, and you know, he wears them a lot. He shovels the snow for the building that they live in, and you know, and he likes to go out for walks and stuff like that. So he needs a good quality wool hat, and he's fine with like a woolly wool. He loves that kind of stuff. So I actually knit with 100% wool, and it's the same as I did the sweater in November. So it's a Patton's classic wool in the dark gray marl. And I kind of based it loosely off the crafting table toque pattern, because he saw Cooper's hat in the green with the Minecraft thing that I knit for Christmas a year ago, so Christmas 2021. And he liked the length, the height of that hat, having a bit of extra stuff in there. So I made a really long brim, and I have a picture of it when it was drying. I don't currently have a picture of him in it, but maybe I'll see if I can get one today. And yeah, so it's extra long, so he can kind of fold it up and get lots of layers, or have it a bit more loosey-goosey, you know, so it doesn't crunch his hair so much. Anyway, that is a lot about a hat. So he really likes it. I gifted it to him on Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't know, whatever day. And Tuesday. And he said he's already worn it a few times. So knit-worthy guy for sure. And yeah, so that is it for the hat. I'm not going to talk about the thing that I don't have anymore. I am going to talk right now about the other thing that I've finished. Are you guessing? Are you guessing which thing it is that I've finished? It's the love note. It is washed. All the ends are woven in. It is, I did block out the lace a little bit, although you don't need it because it just washed up so nicely. We tried it on. The sleeves are perfect. The waist fits perfect. I was worried about the flare at the bottom, but it's actually, with washing, it's just laying so flat and beautiful. So I am so happy with how this turned out, and I am going to gift it to my mother-in-law tonight. So there is that. Let us talk about the details of this. So the pattern is Love Note by Tin Can Knits. I've knit one of these for myself. I knit using the same yarn but a teal color. I knit one of the child sizes for my daughter, and now I have knit this one for my mother-in-law with the same yarn but a different color. So mine is the pearl, I think. It's like a light gray with undertones of like pink and blue, and hers is slate, and the yarn is Loops and Thread Brushed Swirl. Now this is a discontinued yarn. I found this on a D-stash, and I have most of the ball left still, so that is good. Yeah, so hers is slate, which is a darker gray with little white flecks, because there's like it's like a base yarn with with the fluffy stuff wrapped around it. Anyway, I don't know how to describe it, but it will get fluffier over time. It is 100% acrylic, so she can washer and dryer it, and that is, you know, makes it fluffier, makes it easier care. And we did try it on before I finished the neck, just to make sure that everything fit, and she loved it all. So I'm so happy to have that finished and off the needles. My mother-in-law does a lot for our family, looking after the kids, volunteering at the school, and all sorts of stuff. So it feels really good to give her something. I mean, we do stuff for her too and help her with stuff. It's not that it's a reciprocal thing, but yeah, I just love giving her stuff. She's very appreciative of it as well. So let's move on to works in progress. For my first work in progress, we're going to look at the cowl that I've been working on, and I am so close to being finished. I am on the second to last color, so this will be joined in the round, but here we started with the purple into the pinks and the blues and some more blues with green. And this marker is where I was last time I recorded on last Friday. So I've knit this week, I have knit all of these colors. So yeah, we're well into the reds now. So there's this kind of dusty red color that has pops of orange in it. And then the last one is this cherry cranberry red that will be the last one. And then it will go back, and then it will connect to the purple. So that is very exciting that I am almost done this. Yeah, it's been enjoyable. I've definitely made a few mistakes and totally fudged them, and that's okay. No one is going to be able to tell that some of the things are a little off, but for the most part, it's nice and straight up the sides. And yeah, let's talk about the details. This pattern is the Colorful Geometry Cowl loop by somebody. It's here. And yeah, so I am quite enjoying this. Let's see if I can, like, it's going to be so good, you guys. That's how it's going to be. It's harder to see on the other side because it's not connected yet, but it's so good. So good. I don't think this is going to grow too much in blocking. So I think this will be a single loop cowl. I could add colors and make it a double loop cowl, but I think I'm just going to keep it as a single loop and more decoration. Yeah, it's going to be, so it's going to be interesting to see how I wear this. Oh, it's looking all weird now, but that's about how wide it's going to be. So yeah, it'll see how it wears, see how it feels, see how it hangs. The yarn is just delicious. It is Ginger Snap That in her 2021 Advent. And yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely. And I'm going to finish it tonight, guys. I need to finish this. Finish it. So yeah, it's so close, and I'm sure it will be a finished object the next time I see you guys. So speaking of Advent stuff, along with finishing that, I have been keeping up on putting the leftovers into my Advent hat. So I'm not quite at the red yet because I'm still working on it. But yeah, so we started down here at the purple, and this is held double, so you get that kind of marled effect. So if I hold this up, like, you can see that the colors are similar, but you don't get as quite of a like color definition because you're holding two together and then just switching one of them out. So yeah, I'm loving how this is working up. I am on the decreases now. So yeah, it's great. So yeah, I've worked from green all the way through the oranges, and this will be done very soon as well. And then I will have two finished objects. This pattern is, what is it called? Home for the Holidays, and it's by Carla Ray, who's a friend of mine. And again, it is the Ginger Snap That yarn, same as the cowl. So they're kind of a combo project, even though I do have two separate project pages. And I think I am gonna have about three skeins worth of yarn left after all of this. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I might wait and see what leftovers I get from other Advents and see if I can kind of like combine them all into something together, or I don't know what. We'll see. But it is all caked up. I've done slip knots between each of the colors and caked them up so that I can just kind of flow from one to the next. Or do something similar where I just wind off the rest and move on. So that's upcoming plans in the future. Who knows what's going to happen? I definitely have some ideas of what I want to happen in the next month. So stay tuned for that. In the last work in progress, I pulled out my amethyst shawl. I don't think I put a marker in. So I didn't have, oh, and of course I'm in the middle of a row and I'm all twisted and tangled. This is a big old fail, guys. Big old fail, but let's see if I do this. It's a lump. It's on a very small cord, which is fine for now because it is very small, so you don't have all that extra cord dangling extra places. I don't know which side is the front. I don't think it really matters. This yarn is really cool though. It's working up a little stripy, so we'll see how it kind of pools in the next as the shawl gets bigger and bigger. So this is the Amethyst Triangle Shawl by Undeniable Glitter, who is Alyssa. And yeah, so you get, there's like, you know, 3 rows of basically garter, and then you do an eyelet row, and then 3 rows of garter and an eyelet. And I mean, there's more to it than that. I'm not gonna, it's a free pattern, so it's not giving away too much. And then there is a center stitch down the middle. So far, it's all lining up. So that is awesome. The yarn that I'm using is Knit Picks hand painted stroll in the pansy tonal colorway. But yeah, and I am going to submit this for my Northern Knits anniversary cal. So I will talk about more about that in events. So that is it for works in progress. Next up, stash. So I think I alluded to a couple weeks ago that I had ordered some yarn. So I did get my Fireweed Fiber Co. yarn, and I have my January sock club. So last year her theme for her sock club was Star Trek. For all the Star Treks, and she picked, you know, 12 kind of inspiration things, meaningful things to her. This year is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So yeah, I did watch a lot of that in my late teens, early 20s. So I think that's the time frame. I don't know. It was a long time ago. Definitely loved watching it. Yes, I'm going to open that up. And then I was like, well, I'm getting a shipment so I get my sock club in 3-month shipments. And so I get January, February, and March all together in January, but she wraps them up so you can open the package and you don't see anything until you actually unwrap it for the month. It saves me on shipping, so, you know, it's nice. Oh.
Someone's at the front door doorbell.
Someone's at my front door. Okay, I am back. It was very important delivery. I had to sign for it, so good thing that I stopped and went and did that. So I was talking about my Fireweed Fiber Co. yarn. So while I was getting my sock club yarn delivered, I thought I'll just add in a couple things. She had some sale items from yarn bases that are being discontinued, or I don't know. Anyway, year-end cleanup stuff. So I got, this is the DK, Poplar DK. So this is 100% Peruvian Highland wool. And this is the aubergine colorway. It's like a really dark purple. Oh, and it is like, it's a woolly wool, but I'm here for it. And because I couldn't help myself, I also got Harvest Night. This is a beautiful dark teal. I think these look amazing together. It's blowing out a little bit, but yeah, I think these are going to have to be something together. Maybe, I don't know, or maybe together in another project. Haven't decided yet, but I got those. Yeah, I'm happy with those. Very, very happy. And because I love purple and there was a sweater quantity, I got some of the cedar worsted. So this is, again, 100% Peruvian Highland wool, but this is the worsted versus the DK, and this is purple cush. It is purple. You can see it's slightly different. Like this is this is more blue, this is more red. So yeah, I have a whole sweater's quantity of this. I think I got 7 skeins. Yeah, I think I think I have a pattern in mind, but I haven't fully decided yet. I'm going to ball one of these up and do a swatch like a good person and see if this works up how I think I want it to work up. It is a variegated color. It's hard to see, but it is a variegated color, but just slightly, right? Like it's mostly solid-ish. Okay, I'm back again. My phone that I record on ran out of space to record videos, so I had to go delete a bunch of stuff. It's up in the cloud, it's fine. I just never cleaned up the files that are located on my phone. Anyway, it's fine, I'm back. I was talking about the worsted weight yarn. I want to make a sweater, something with texture. I have a couple options kind of in the back of my mind, so I'm gonna swatch and see what I come up with, and that will be an update for next week. I don't actually, I didn't prepare a next on my needles segment, or I would talk about it there, but I will talk about it next week. Maybe I've cast on by then. Who knows? All right, so that is it. No, that's not it for stash. Are you ready for the loud crinkling? So if you ordered January's sock club from Fireweed Fabrico and you don't have it yet, look away until the next segment. You can use the chapters to skip to events. So this is the last thing for the stash, okay? You've been warned. Ooh. This is cool. So the pink has a bit of like orangish tones to it. I love it. Okay, let's look up what it is. So this is the sweet pea sock, and the main skein is 100 grams. And then this time I got the 2 minis, and they are each 20 grams. This is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And this is If the Apocalypse Comes, Beep Me. So if you remember the show, everyone had pagers. Buffy had a pager. So if you remember what those are, I had to explain it to my kids the other day. You know, you would call and like basically leave a message kind of thing. So, or would just leave your phone number. So yeah. So yeah, that is cool. That is, so look at that. The purple and the red. It's a bit more muted than it's showing up in the camera, but yes, this is amazing, Erin. Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it. So yeah, this year I decided to get the 2 mini skeins. I just feel like I can do more than just socks if I have the 2 mini skeins plus the full skein. So we will see what I decide to do with this year's. I haven't decided what to do with last year's. It's all up there. So that is it for stash. Let's move on to events. The first event that I want to talk about is the Pigskin Party. And this is hosted by Boston Jen from the Downseller Studio podcast, and it is finishing in a couple weeks. So I am on that last push to finish anything that I started within the time frame so that I can submit those, get pictures, weigh everything, get all the details just updated so I can submit those things. You can check out her website for more details if you would like to participate. Next up, I talked about my amethyst shawl. This is for the Northern Knits Anniversary podcast. So they are in year 6 or they've done 6 years of podcasting. And so amethyst is the traditional gem to go along with 6 years of marriage. So that's what we're using as one of the categories. You can do the traditional thing, the gem, there's a modern thing. So it's iron, candy, amethyst, and of course dragons and unicorns are eternal, so they count for everything. So there you go. That is that on that one. Next up, I am participating in the Imagine Knitting Cal. I have not worked on my Stormborn shawl at all, but it is, I need to spend some time with that one, really get in a rhythm. I did make a bit of a oops, and I'm deciding whether it's going to bother me or whether I'm just going to let it go, and update on that next week. And the last one I am participating in is We Have Yarn for that, and they are doing a birthday make-along for Rachel, and so basically anything that's like a super old whip, finish it up in the month of January, February, and count it for that one. So I'm going to submit my hinterland for that one. And that is it for events. I think that's a lot. So we'll leave it at that and move on to chatter. First up for chatter, I finished 2 books this week. The first one is Sapphire Flames by Ilona Andrews, and I keep looking over there because my notes are over there. And this was a good book. It's a shorter one. I don't know if it classifies as a novella, or was it this one? No, this wasn't a shorter one. The other one was a shorter one. I don't know. I'm just reading them all. And I've got the next one on hold at the library. I think it's Ruby or Emerald. I can't remember. Anyway, they're all like jewel things, diamond and all that stuff. So I'm quite enjoying that series. But I have finished Sapphire Flames. And then I have finished G is for Gumshoe by Sue Grafton. And I'm currently reading the next one. So those are great. I listen to that on my Libby app. That is an audiobook. So I find that, I can just pop it in my ears and do housework or whatever driving around. If I don't have the kids in the car, because, murder and stuff, not really appropriate for the kids. So that is it for books. As far as any life stuff, not much has been happening. Just life as usual, taking kids to activities, driving around. Mike and I have spent a lot of time planning out our summer trip, and we'll give more details on that as we have them. But the basic gist of it is we'll be going away for 6 weeks in July and August, and it's gonna be great. So we're planning to go across Canada and dip into the States a little bit. That's going to be, the details are still being worked out, but we're in our truck and trailer, going to drive across the country. So it's going to be fun. And I'm just looking around at the mess that I've made. I think I'm going to call that an episode. If you enjoyed watching this episode, please make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button, and feel free to comment. I love interacting with you guys. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me what you finished, what yarn you're buying, enable me, and all the things. And I hope to see you next week. Bye.